Welcome, everyone. We're going to get started here in just a few minutes. My name is Christy, and I will be hosting tonight's welcome webinar. So thank you, everyone, for joining. Please feel free to join, put your video on or share in the chat where you're calling in from. We love to see each other's faces and meet new friends. Welcome, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. Where are you calling in from?
Indonesia, Jakarta.
I'm sorry, cut off.
Indonesia.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Where's everyone else calling in from? I'm calling in from Los Angeles, California.
Oh, hi, I'm also calling from Indonesia.
Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're excited to have you. We're going to get started here in just a couple minutes, and we're just going to wait for a few more people to join, and then we'll get started. Welcome, everyone. Anyone else want to share where they're calling in from?
Hi, I'm calling from China.
Welcome. Welcome all the way from China. We're excited to have you with us.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to get started here. Okay. We're going to give each other just a couple more seconds, and we'll get started. Alrighty, everyone, we're going to get started. I want to introduce myself here quickly. I am the host for today's welcome webinar. My name is Christy Fisher. I work for RMDS in the BD and sales department. I'm really excited to join you and hear all about the upcoming competition that we have, and welcome, everyone. We are so excited to have you all here to enjoy the welcome webinar for California Property Price Trend Prediction Competition. Let me take a second to introduce our training instructors, Vincent and Mo. Vincent Chen is our data scientist who is currently working in the recommendation system and other data science projects in RMDS Lab. Skilled in machine learning, NPL, and Python, he took part in the project which analyzed Amazon reviews with BERT, then trained a model to predict consumers' value while consumers are evaluating the purchase. He also held a workshop of building a simple SEER model of the COVID-19 prediction last year. Mo Chen joined RMDS as an evaluation consultant in August 2019. He has been involved in multiple projects at RMDS Lab, including COVID-19 projects, spatial data science courses development, and much more. He is now the project lead of the Impact Score project, which aims at developing and improving the algorithms and user experience of the Impact Score system. Mo got his PhD in environmental engineering and a master's degree in computer science from USC. He is generally interested in utilizing real-world data to solve real-world problems. RMDS Lab is an ecosystem service provider that empowers data science professionals and businesses worldwide to achieve successful data-driven results. Community members have the opportunity to build their project portfolios and expertise in several ways, including uploading projects to our project portal for peer review, working with experts who can provide constructive feedback on resumes and data science projects, attending webinars, conferences, and deep dive programs, and taking part in our online courses and certification programs on learn.grmds.org. All right, so the agenda, the competition problem statement. We're going to go over the impact score, judging criteria, description of data sets, tips for getting started, deliverables and the prizes, and of course, questions. Please leave your questions for the end and put them in the chat box as well. We'll be able to make sure we hit everyone's questions. Alrighty, problem statement. Competitors need to use the data sets provided to find out the future trends of property prices in California. Through the process of data research, analysis, feature extraction, and modeling, competitors should reach some solid and meaningful arguments. Competitors might wonder what kind of properties are worth investment. Which cities or areas are more favorable to investors? How closely are the property prices related to nearby schools? If there is any additional bedroom with other features unchanged, how is the property price going to change? All perspectives are welcome. Show us your most valuable conclusions. Mo?
All right, yeah, my turn. Thanks, Christy. Yes, as Christy has introduced, I'm right now the project lead of the Impact Score project. So I'd like to spend a few minutes with you guys about like what our team is doing right now and why it is like related to the competition you guys are all excited to participate. So what is an Impact Score on Earth? So like a lot of times we have been hearing a common question that like, hey, could you recommend a real data science to me? Could you find a data science that fit my project, right? So this Impact Score system does exactly that, right? It uses external sources and then all the data that RMDS platform has been collecting to validate and quantify a data scientist's impact in their field. So this really takes advantage of the RMDS platform, which is a comprehensive ecosystem that captures the data scientists, the peer-reviewed projects, tools, knowledge, skill sets, courses, and qualifications, right? Like everything a data scientist could have. And we take all of them into consideration when we measure or assess how good of a data scientist you are, basically. And we do want to address that, like you might have seen such like similar measuring system like ResearchGate, which measures the academic performance of a person in academia. I mean, the impact score system is kind of similar, but instead of academia or other things, we really pay attention to how we measure data scientists' practical, tangible impact on the society through projects, workflows, and other like field relevant interactions, right? So we care more about what you did compared to who you are, basically. We really believe like what you have done is the footprint you have created, the impact you have created to this data science field. So who will use it? A lot of people could potentially benefit from the impact score system we have been developing. For example, technical recruiters, they might just look at your resume. If you put your impact score on the resume, the recruiters can see at a first look, get a first impression, hey, oh, this guy has a really high impact score, then I just could probably get this guy or this girl through the first round of interview because, well, it has he or she has a really high impact score, and then I should probably trust you. He or she has done a lot of projects, has a really good background, those kind of things. Academic institutions, similarly, when they decide which student is a good candidate to enroll, I mean, looking at resume, they can also tell how good this student, how much potential it has. So those are some like examples in the real world where the impact score could be used. How do we measure it? So, I mean, we have a very sophisticated algorithm behind the scene, but in general, we measure a person from 5 different perspectives, or we say dimensions. Right? As we listed here, project quality, how good or bad the project you have done before, project engagement, which means how interactive, how people react, or how many people have viewed your project, right? How they rate your project, what kind of interactions your project have with other people, right? This kind of, to some level, can measure the impact of your project. Project outcome. So under this category, we kind of measure how many people your project have impacted. For example, if you work on some COVID-related project, obviously it can potentially impact a lot of people, right? Compared to some other projects. It's just an example. Perceived capacity and perceived participation. So the previous 3 categories are more about the project you have done, and as I said, we care more about the project or things you have done before. So we put a heavier weight on the previous 3 categories. But at the same time, we also, although less than the project you have done, but we also care who you are, right? So the latter 2 categories are more about your background, like what kind of degree you have, which universities you graduated from, how many years you have been working in this data science field, those kind of things. And the perceived participation is like how active you are in this data science community, for example, how many followers you have on the RMDS platform, right? How many people you are following, right? How many ratings other people have given to you and you have given to other people, those kind of social interactions, because we do think that more interactions you have with other people in this community, then more likely you have a higher impact, right, in this field. So how do I improve my impact score? Well, very simple. Well, a very simple first step you can do is upload projects. So this data competition is a really good chance if you have never signed up on our GMDS platform yet, then this is a great chance that you, I believe you already signed up or you're going to sign up, and then you will upload most likely your first project onto this platform using your data science competition results, which I'm pretty sure most of you will do a great job, and it's going to be a high quality project. So once you upload your competition projects, you should be able to see your impact score got increased a lot. So, and also second thing you can do, interact with your fellows, right? Make friends, and try to follow some people, give ratings to the project you're interested in, attract people to follow you, those kind of things, just like how you do on social media. But this is more specific to the data science community you belong to. And where can you find your impact score? It's right on your personal profile page of grmds.org. So if you haven't done so, I highly encourage you to just sign up, very easy. And if you have already done so, you should be able to, like once you sign up, logging, you should be able to see there is a impact score right on your personal profile page. And that's about it, about the impact score thing I'm going to introduce today. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. If it is related to impact score, and I'm happy to help anyone who's interested to boost your impact score. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, thank you, Mo, for kind of introducing the impact score to us. Yeah, just kind of to summarize the stuff here, impact score is a very specific measure provided by RMDS Lab to our users. So in order to measure your actual impacts towards the data science field. So whenever you upload a project or you follow someone in our RMDS Lab, you'll get updated in your impact score. and a high impact score implies that you have more contribution in the data science work here. So we are kind of it's a very special thing that we have in RMDS lab. And let's kind of come back to the competition. Also, like taking part into our competition is like one of the things that could impact your to improve your impact score as well. So let's kind of go back to the competition details. About the judging criteria, we have like 8 major criteria for evaluation your work. So like the first one, we have the impact. We are looking for some useful business insights from your proposal. We're looking for some specific benefit from the business and some actionable steps that are recommended to improve in our stakeholders' work. And the second one is the methodology. This is a more solid and methodological one. So say, have you performed some good analysis about your assumptions and limitations that based on your methodology, and how are those qualitative steps of the data ingestion, feature engineering, the modeling architecture, and those performance optimization. How are those methods going? How robust is your model? These are all the questions that we might want to look for. We are looking for answers from your solutions. And the next criteria that we would to look into is the reproducibility. How does the solution use the coding best practices with the workflow, with the documentation to reproduce one's work? Is the data ingress and egress pipelines reproducible? So it's like how easy we could replicate your work in this dimension. And the next one is the innovation. Will your idea have a big impact? How innovative is your approach, selection, and weighing of all those factors that you selected in your model? And how those information is displayed or communicated within your model? Those are important things that we would consider in the innovation dimension. For usability, we will look into the information that presented in your paper. Is it actionable? How is it? Is it like more easy understanding by the general public? Like what it means and what actions, specific actions to take for the general public. We also expect your work to be deployed easily. Like how long is your computation time? How's your scalability of the system to absorb some new data sources? How often does your model need to be maintained? How much manpower or time or resources need to be allocated to maintain your model? Last but not least, we expect you to use your data fairly and ethically. Does your solution take into account of the biases in the data? Or is your data collected from open and trusted resources? So we will expect you to use the main data set of the property prices that contains a data dictionary, which is downloadable in our website. And we also provided this supplementary data set in a separate page that includes the data below. These are the supplemental data sets that we encourage you to use, but not required. So for example, the mortgage interest rate containing the average interest rate on a 30-year fixed rate mortgage in the United States, and is published by the Freddie Mac. Demographic data comprises the demographic data like population, age, sex, race, income from the US Census Bureau. And also we have the crime data for the California cities published by the FBI. We have the public school data, and we also have the earthquake data in California. In total, we have like 25 extra data sources that we provided in the sheet, Google Sheet, which you could find in our competition page. You're encouraged to use those data to build up your own model with the main data provided as well. So here are some tips for you to get started. So I would really suggest you to research on the data as the first step, because everyone's having the same main data when you just download it. It's not much different for everyone. And then that's why you need to have some research on some extra data based on your thinking or your model, on your theory. So maybe get some theories first, and then try to do some data research and combine the data, those extra data, to the main data to build up your own model. Secondly, just do some feature analysis once you have the data. Maybe some correlation analysis, maybe do some data exploration, some line charts or bar charts, all sorts of analysis that are available for you to perform. Run some more research, run some more analysis, and you'll find like more correlation or more trends within the data sets. And then third would be the model building, which would require some modeling knowledge. But there are no stupid models. You just take whatever model you think that are most applicant to the data, like linear regression, neural nets, logistic regression. Those are fine for in our model building here. Just think of the one that you would think it works the best for the data, for the topic, and just work on it. And finally, last but not least, the interpretation of your insights. This is actually very important, as we have kind of seen that like some interpretation of some business insights would be very valuable in your proposal and taken into accounts in the evaluations. So your conclusions, your insights, they should be solid, they should be valuable, they should be great in your perspective. Just give us something interesting, solid, and valuable insights to in the proposal, and you have a better rating on your submitted work. And here are the examples of the deliverables for the submission. So the first required one would be the technical report in PDF, and with your names of the team members and team name. This is a required. And then also we would expect some source code. This is also required. We'll also need the CSV of your predicted results, because this is a prediction competition. And we also need to have the README file to kind of illustrate how you run your codes and your running environments of the codes. And we also need your data saved in the zip folder. And last but not least, you could also upload whatever you want, like a prototype, like a map or web page, an app, or all the other formats are welcome. But whatever you think you could you want to share with us to give us a better understanding of your thoughts, your work. And here are our prizes. The first place in our competition would win $1,000, and the second prize would get $500. More importantly, you will receive internship of positions within GMDS platform and our cooperated other organizations. And you will also receive a certification on your data science competency. And you may receive invitation to present at our IAM-Data 2021 conference in October. And contestants who complete and submit the project will receive a free 1-month premium membership to GeoMDS.
Alrighty, so our upcoming events, some exciting events to remember, is our training webinar starts tomorrow, Wednesday, the 26th of May. On June 1st, that is a Tuesday, that will be our question and answer session. You want to make sure these are all on your calendar. And then the competition ceremony will begin Tuesday, the 29th of June. So make sure all of those dates are on your calendar and get ready for them. All right, so now it is time for our questions all about our competition. Let's see in the chat. Now, feel free to speak them or also put them in the chat. I know we have some questions. All right, it looks like we have our first question. How to gain the impact score?
Right. I'm happy to answer the question. So, as I said, once you sign up on geomds.org, the website, and then you log into your own account, on your personal profile page, you should be able to see there's some diagram and a number showing your current impact score. And I think like at the beginning of your sign up, it's probably like some number close to 0 because we know nothing about you, right? But once you like upload some projects on your on the same platform through our geomds.org, you upload some projects, you provide some background about yourself, right? There is I believe there is like a personal summary or like intro. Tell us something about you, where you got your, what kind of degree you have, where you graduated from, those kind of things. Then our algorithm behind the scene will take those information into account and translate them into your impact score. And then you should be able to see it. You should be able to see your impact score increase when you come back to your personal profile page. So currently we like update everyone's impact score like once a week. So if you don't see if you upload some project and provide some information about yourself and don't see a instantaneous change in your impact score, that's totally normal. Don't panic. We like currently we do it like once a week. So you come sometime back later, you should be able to see your impact score got increased. Hopefully that answered your question.
Yes, I want to ask. So the impact score is represent our team or just represent one group member?
Right now it's individual. But when we do the final judge, we will take consideration of all your team members' impact score.
So we'll recommend that all my team members to register accounts and get their personal impact score?
Yes, please.
Okay,
that would be great. Yeah, and you guys can interact on their platform as well in that way.
Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just to be clear on the impact score here, it's not like required for all contestants to have like a very super high impact score. We are only encouraging you to this, and the number of the impact score is not related to the competition evaluations. So yeah.
What are some other questions? Thank you.
Hi, I have a question to the competition itself. So I remember at the beginning you mentioned our prediction is for our potential investors, and I'm just not sure like what group of people are those investors? Are they like home buyers, like the regular people? They buy their homes and then they want to know future price of a home, and then they can make choice based on our prediction, or are they some other companies that are, like buying homes?
Yeah, actually, by investors, I mean possible stakeholders. So whenever you think your conclusion would fit to a specific group of persons, though this could a little bit like up to you to define what kind of what stakeholders they would be. Just find some useful conclusions to our possible stakeholders. That's just an example that you could kind of expand to investigate on your own. You don't have to.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just an example here.
thank you.
If there's more questions, feel free to put them in the chat as well. All right, we have another one. What about other team members? Is a team member to get certified of completion too?
Yeah, I think so. Once you register in our GMDS platform, and then you submit your solution within your team, then we shall be able to send you the certification as long as you provided the actual contact info that we could reach out to you.
Don't be shy, everyone. This is the time to ask away. So make sure you have a real clear understanding of everything before we get started.
Hi, I do have a question. First, thanks for the competition. I think it's very interesting. My question is about the prices. I noticed that some of the prices seem to be like rental prices. Are we, or should we focus on selling prices only, or should we also take into consideration the rental prices?
Actually, there's something that we might all want to consider. So it's like the renting prices is related to the actual purchase prices. So you might want to kind of consider like transferring them to the same scale that you want, or it's totally up to you if you want to just analyze the rental prices or the actual purchase prices.
Okay, thanks.
Mhm. Yeah, it's kind of open to your own interpretation, and that's what's why this competition is kind of charming.
All right, next question is about the impact score. If the score will be calculated as a team, how about some people will be registered? How about some people which registered as an individual for the competition? Will the score be calculated in aggregate or average?
Vincent, I think you might be more clear about how impact score be considered in the final job.
Well, actually, impact score is not considered as like one of the metrics for our evaluation of the work. But we really encourage you to improve your impact score to build up your own profile within the GMDS platform.
Yeah, and like if your competition work is good enough to be one of the winners, then, and if you have an impact score, if you have a more complete profile on our platform, it's easier for us to, follow up on you and your team members, and like, consider the future, either like internship or other like benefits you guys would like to get. So it's just like easier it will, we believe the impact has a higher impact score will definitely benefit you, both you and our platform for sure. So that's why like we highly encourage you to register, sign up, and be interactive on it.
Yeah. On the other hand, if you like win the competition, you would naturally have a higher impact score than others, than the other contestants who haven't like won the competition.
That's true. Probably have a lot more followers.
Yeah, true. Once you win the competition, you become famous in the platform, and then just trending.
Awesome. Next question is, will data sets be provided, or do we find in Kaggle and etc.?
We already have provided with a pretty complicated data set for that available to download in our competition page. But you're also welcome to to add some more other data that you would like to analyze into it. But the main data would be the data set we provided in our competition page. That would be the focus of the competition.
Will accuracy score be judged in this competition?
Yes, of course. It's a kind of part of the evaluation metric in the methodology part. So the more accurate your prediction model made, the higher rating on under the methodology part you might get.
Which period does the data set cover?
You mean time?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it's very recent. I think like over 50% of the data comes from 2021.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Will all participators get the certificate of completion, or only the winners get the certificate of completion?
I think all.
I
Not
could jump
just
in on that. So anybody who sends in a completed project will get a certificate of completion, but the winners will get a separate certificate saying that they won.
Thank you, Erica. And then the
Yeah.
next question is, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just I just want to add that it's you might not get the certification if you don't like submit your final work to the competition. So not just to register, but make sure you submitted something to receive your certification.
Awesome, thank you. And may I use any kind of tools to present my model in this competition? Microsoft Power BI, for example.
Yeah, cool. It's totally fine if you want to use the Microsoft Power BI. That's why we put also like an optional choice there, so for you to showcase your analysis using different tools if you want to. But just to remember one thing, the source code is still required. So maybe you want to really code in something to present something to us as well, not just using Power BI only.
So following up on that question, can the source code be in SAS, for example?
Probably not. I'm sorry. Yeah, R and Python would be
Okay.
preferred.
Okay. Have you guys held a competition like this before?
Erica, you want to kind of introduce our competition history?
Yeah, so we're actually going to be doing these quarterly now. So this is our Q2 competition. We're going to be doing a competition about every 3 months this year. We previously held them once a year. And one of the biggest ones that we did was last year, where our contestants participated in what resulted in the COVID risk map, which was really obviously quite useful to the city. And, we're always looking for new topics. We're always going to try and feature any kind of hot topics that are coming up in the data science world. But yes, we are just going to continue to do more competitions. And as far as I know, they're all free to enter.
Great. And where can I find information on the previous competitions, like who won them and, what the prizes were and who the competitors were and so on?
If you give me a minute, I will share you the links in the chat.
Okay, thanks.
We still have some time left if anyone has any other questions. Who's excited to get started? Show of hands.
In terms of the prizes, so there are two prizes, $1,000, $500. Is that it, or are there also other prizes as well?
Could we go back to the prize page?
Yeah, so just for submitting something, like we say, you can get a certificate. There's also internship opportunities. And then as well, just for registering for the competition like you have today, you'll get a free ticket to IM Data, which is our big conference that we have this fall.
All right, are there any other questions? Feel free to add them to the chat. We are super excited to have you all join us for this competition. And if you think of any other questions, you can always email us and reach out to us on LinkedIn and through messaging as well. I'm just going to give a couple more seconds for anyone last minute questions.
One more question for me. In terms of having the team, if I wanted someone to join my team, like in the middle of the competition, is that feasible, or the person have to be already registered like by today?
You could just resubmit your team profile, just like, re-register again.
Okay.
And make sure to include your new teammate's name in your final submission.
All right, anyone else? All right, thank you so much for joining our welcome webinar. Do not forget the training webinar is tomorrow. Make sure you have that on your calendar. If you have any questions in the meantime, please feel free to email us and reach out on LinkedIn or any of our social channels. Thank you again so much for joining us for this welcome webinar. We're really, really excited to have you all join us for this competition. It's going to be a really good one, and I will see you shortly during the question and answer. But again, do not forget the welcome